actually quite a decent. I'm gonna Photoshop my spot out, but other than that, that looks also almost a bit too photogenic, mate. We look like we're trying too hard.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Major Tom?
I can't hear you.
Can you not?
Try again? No, try again.
Yeah, I'm making noise now. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is falling out.
Right, that's the stream shared on right, I'm going to start the Mixler stream. Winging it, winging it. And Mixler is live. Are you ready to go, mate? Forget Twitter for now.
Hello and welcome to Clay Pigeon. Apologies if you've just been watching shots of me stood around doing absolutely nothing. A few technical difficulties to get the day underway. But wow, what a weekend we have here. Friday, today, is the mains championship final day. We've got a number of teams battling it out for the championship. We're going to go have a chat to them in just a second. But first, I'll tell you what else is coming up over this weekend. Saturday, we've got the last round of our Rookies Championship. That'll be tomorrow afternoon. We'll be streaming that as well. And then Sunday, the main event, the Drivers and the Grads Championships. Several drivers from all different unis, but that doesn't matter anymore. They are racing for themselves, for the title of British University's Karting Championships Drivers Champion. We've also got our graduates, people who've graduated but raced BUKC in the past, coming back to give it a go. I'll be out myself. For those of you who remember last year, let's hope to see a better showing. But for now, let's go see who we got on the grid competing for the main BUKC Championship win. At the front of the grid, we've got Liverpool, and I believe Mr. Josh Garlin. Josh, race win for you at Hood. Can we see the same now?
Well, I certainly hope so. They're all telling me don't finish lower than second because I'm rubbish. Yeah, so I'm just going to drive around and have some fun.
Are you coming to the party tonight?
Of course I am. Yeah, all of the Liverpool lads are going to the party, so we're going to. I was going to swear then. We're going to have time at the party.
Good times for all. Got some of our championship contenders. Well, I say some of our championship contenders. Come and talk to me, lads. Jamie, Jack, Oxford, Brooks, A and B, both for the title this weekend. How do you rate your chances, lads? Jamie, your A's?
Yeah, I think we're both going to finish one. Not second challenger. We've already only got one, so
You reckon you'll be all right today then?
I think so.
Strong lineup?
Yeah, really strong lineup, same as usual.
Glad to hear it. Jack, Oxford, Brooks, B. Surprise package, some might say. How are you faring?
Yeah, no, feeling good, feeling confident. Like say, Jamie said, we've got a strong team. I think like either A or B will win, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. I'm not overly fussed which one, just going to do whatever. Have a good time, see if we can get results and see what happens, really.
If you have fun, Jack, you won.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a taking part and enjoyment that counts, you know. You don't want to get too competitive. Although
Jamie's looking at you thinking, absolutely no, no chance. We're getting an announcement. No, we're not. We're not racing. So tonight, legendary BUKC party. Can we expect to see a strong contingent from Brooks?
Yeah, for the first time ever. I think we'll all be there. And then you come to Yeovil later.
Love it. Yes, I got a hotel room. There's room for all of you.
Ooh, if you're still a student as well, it's half price to get in the club. And if
Whoa.
you buy one, get one free on drinks all night.
May end up being a heavy one.
Celebrating in style.
But, for those who watched the stream last year, my rookie's presentation was a bit croaky. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my voice was gone, absolutely gone after the Friday night. Yeah, I can't imagine. Jack, are you as lightweight on the booze as you are in real life?
I'm going to say probably, yeah. But I mean, the last time I went out of this lot, I passed out in my shower a couple of hours later. So we'll wait and see. I try not to embarrass myself this time.
You do look like a £1 wonder, mate. I'm not going to lie.
Are you going to make it to a good performance in the Drivers' Champs this year?
I'm going to do better than last year, I'll say that
Get
much.
to the super final?
There's nothing super about my driving skill, mate. Right, I'm going to see who else is on the grid. Thanks for chatting with us, lads. We're getting pushed off. I'm not going to talk to anyone else on the grid. You better, go off and do that. Oxford Brooks A and B there. Pretty confident of one of them wrapping up the title. I'm sure there's a few other universities who'll have something to say about that. Hopefully, I'm not hearing over the radio, but hopefully, our commentary team of Andrew and Howard are ready. If not, I'll just stall on the grid for a little bit as drivers get pushed off. Always a bit tricky to get these old carts going more. It's a little bit choke. Usually helps, but not all drivers seem to know that. Got one driver stood out there. Does anyone want to push him off? That'd be incredible. I'll push the carts. Fantastic. Drivers.
So a bit of a pause, ladies and gentlemen, on the audio stream. We'll be with you very shortly. Why don't we join up with the TV, guys? Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Clay Pigeon Raceway for round 7 of the British Universities Karting Championship for 2018. We are getting ready for the first sprint race of the day. Quick bit of housekeeping if this is your first time with us, great to have you with us. The first session this morning is going to constitute of 6 25-minute sprint races. Teams will race in 4 of those 6 races. The best 3 results count towards their position in the overall round. Points for positions in the round count towards the championship. 60 points for winning the round. 59 for second, etc, etc, etc. Let's talk the championship. Let's talk what we're looking at today. Howard Mitchell is with me.
Hello everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. We've just said hello to our listeners on Mixler. If you're watching us on the live stream, don't forget, if you're out and about during the day, you can also listen to us on that via the Mixler app. And BUKC. But hello to everyone watching on the live stream. It's the start of the 3-day finals weekend. It's one of my favourite weekends of the year. Massively looking forward to it. Glad everyone can join us.
So the 5 teams that we're going to be talking about probably the most today, the 5 teams who have a chance of winning the Premier's class in the Mains Championship. Leading the championship going into this stage of the season is the Oxford Brookes B team. And they've got a 9-point lead at the moment over their teammates in the Oxford Brookes A kart. Loughborough A are 3rd. Also 9 points behind, but needing some good results today to pull this one back due to the way the drop scores are working. Nottingham A are 4th, 15 points off the lead of the championship, but still with an outside chance of taking the big trophy at the end of the day. And the last team is the Huddersfield A team, also in a similar situation to Nottingham A, needing quite a turnaround to be able to pull off the championship win. But it can be done. It could be done here today. Intermediates Championship, mathematically a lot of teams who could win that, but in reality it's going to be one of 3 teams, we reckon. Newcastle A currently leading the subclass within the Mains Championship, but the King's College London team and the Liverpool A team have also got a good chance. If they get good results here today, they could go home with the spoils in the intermediates class. So they're the 2 championships that we're going to see decided today. We are getting ready for the first grid of the day, and just a moment we'll go through that. So here you go then, the first grid of the day. I'm not quite sure if you can see this up on the stream, but on pole position will be Liverpool A for this first one of the day, with Josh Gollin at the wheel. Nick Powell alongside him on the first row for Aston A. Row 2 is Brighton and Martin Matchak and Ellis Jackson for Imperial. Row 3 is Oxford Brookes C with Dylan Roach and Sam Cobb for Warwick A. Warwick B and Birmingham C are row 4. Row 5 is Huddersfield B and Leeds Beckett A. Row 6 is Birmingham A and Oxford Brookes A. I'm just going to check we're not good for a go this time around. No, I think we're going to go round again. Good. Row 7 is Exeter B and King's College A. Row 8 is Newcastle B and Swansea B. Row 9 is Coventry A and Sheffield A. Row 10 is Manchester Metropolitan A and Leeds B. Row 11 is Newcastle A and Southampton B. Row 12 is UE A and Oxford Brookes B, the championship leaders. Row 13 is Loughborough C and Leeds A. Row 14 is Brunel A and Oxford Brookes D. Row 15 is Northumbria A and Swansea A. Row 16 is Bath B and Birmingham B. Row 17, Loughborough A and Swansea C. And last but not least, on the last row, 36 karts, is Brunel B and Cambridge A. We're going to go round for one last, I think, tour of the crown, as it's called here at Wilson Mill, at Clay Pigeon. And so yeah, quite short forming up laps here, because they go around this top end of the circuit, kind of in an oval, and we'll get racing in a moment. But Howard, if you're ready to come back in with us, yes you are. A lot of big drivers going in this one. I can see a lot of the race helmets that we recognise in this first one for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't say I'm too surprised. We've got the bits of the tracker dry, bits of the tracker damp. Does look like we're ready to go indeed. Where are we? We are
indeed. So here we go then. Round 7 of the British Universities Karting Championship is go. And Josh Gollin takes an early lead for Liverpool. There's a spinner. I think it's Ashley Jarvis in the mid-pack. Couple of spinners there. And Loughborough are off. Oh, well, even straight away. One of the championship contenders in trouble. Loughborough A are off on lap 1. Rest of the field coming through now as we go down to the hairpin for the first time. But it is Liverpool who are going to lead. There are Loughborough A and James Mills getting going again. That is not what Loughborough needed in terms of trying to fight for this championship. That's a bad start, Howard.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the disaster for Loughborough. And already, I mean, it's important to bear in mind we get drop scores here as Aston goes alongside with the 29, which off the top of my head
is Brighton.
Brighton indeed.
Sam Cobb's had a good start. Warwick, not much pressure on Warwick today. I reckon they could have a really good stab at this, but a good start for Sam Cobb and Warwick. They're up to 4th.
At the end of lap 1 then of the finals weekend for BUKC 2018, it is Josh Gollin in the Liverpool A24 leading ahead of Aston A and Brighton, who we saw battling out over second in the last lap. Then it's Warwick A, Brooks C, Warwick B, Imperial A, Birmingham A, Huddersfield B and Oxford Brooks A to round out the top 10. Involved in incidents on that lap, Loughborough A, Brooks B. Or, yes, what happened to Brooks B, Andrew? They're down as well.
Didn't see that, but yeah, timing is correct. It's Joe Bleakley. Joe Bleakley is towards the back of the field as well.
The man who has been one of the most consistent drivers this year, Andrew. And he's down at the back. Leeds Beckett A and Coventry A also involved in incidents on that first lap.
Colin the Cone has already been smashed out of the way at turn 1. So, as predicted, we're going to get a few regenerations of him today. But Josh Gollin leads. Battling going on in the back pack. I can see, I think that's Ellis Jackson for Imperial. Imperial had a bad start as well, but Ellis Jackson making a move and starting to come up through the field. Matthew Lewis also coming up through the field in the number 2. We need to watch out for him in the white suit, the red and blue helmet. He's got Rob Newman in the number 12, not too far behind. In fact, this is a really good battle in just coming around the crown now. Matthew Lewis, Michael Gibbons is in there for Birmingham A, the number 10 as well. But look out for Rob Newman, who goes for his super final driver's defence on Sunday, having a battle here with Ellis Jackson going through turn 1 by the cone now.
I'll tell you the other thing though, Andrew, we do have to keep an eye on the lead here because Nick Powell in the Aston A car is right on the tail of Josh Gollin. So battle for the lead going on as well. And there is traffic there coming up upon as well, which is the number 9 of, is that Cambridge? It is indeed. So Cambridge have had some kind of incident.
Matthew Lewis is on a charge here in the number 2. He's just getting past Ben Simpson in one of the Warwick karts. This is just the kind of start that Oxford Brooks A, the perennial runners-up in the championship the last few years, needed if they're going to make that runner-up spot a win. But here's the battle for the lead, Howard.
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. As they go into the first major braking zone, they're both past the Cambridge kart, though, so it's still Josh Gollin. And look at Sam Cobb up the inside as well, into the chicane. We could just catch at the edge of that shot. Heading down the back straight now into the hairpin where yellows are flying. Can't make out who for, but it's looked like an intermediate class car. I think I caught sight of a black number plate. I'll look out for who that is as they get underway again.
Brighton having a really good start in this one. And if we can get timing back on the screen. Thank you, Howard. Just want to check who the driver behind them is. Of course, it's Oxford Brooks C. Now, they could play an important role in here today in helping both their A and B teams to progress up through the field. Now, you might be about to see the first element of that if the Oxford Brooks C team jump out the way. Yes, they do. Matthew Lewis is through. Great teamwork there from the Oxford Brooks team as a squad.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's exactly the kind of thing that Brooks need to do. Obviously, they're the only university with 2 horses in this race who can still realistically win this championship. The key thing is that where they can help either one of those teams, they've got to do it. They've got to take those opportunities, and that's exactly what's needed. And already, Matthew Lewis is on the back of the next person.
Battle for the lead. Cobb and Aston side by side. Cobb going for second place, trying to get round the outside of Nick Powell there. Doesn't manage to do it. Very tricky conditions offline. Josh Gollin runs a little bit wide there for Liverpool, but gets good speed off the corner. But here comes Cobb, and they're side by side. There's a bit of contact there. Cobb needs to be quite careful there.
Well, sometimes you can get overspeed if you get a really nice apex through the first couple of corners, but it wasn't really on there for Cobb, and he's got to be careful there. But yes, this is great already, Andrew. We've got a 3-horse battle for the lead of the first race of the day.
Intermediates, I've just spotted a key driver in this, James de Havilland for the Newcastle team, the number 45 kart. Very distinctive helmet dedicated to the backgrounds of his parents. He's joined this pack involving Rob Newman, Ellis Jackson, Ben Simpson. There's a yellow flag out down at turn 1. One of the intermediate teams has spun off. But a good start here for Newcastle, currently in 10th place, right in that pack from about 7th down to 12th. back with the leaders then. Good news for Josh Gollin. The squabbling between Nick Powell and Sam Cobb is starting to have an effect. You can see there, Liverpool A starting to pull out a bit of a lead. Cobb still looking at the inside. Here he is, trying to get past Nick Powell. To be honest, the battle on circuit at the moment is the squabble about 5 seconds behind them, and just about to come onto the pit straight now, which is all over about 6th place. And back to the second place battle. Sam Cobb is through. He is through. The little gesture comes there to Nick Powell to say, let's work together and try and catch Josh Gollin. But Powell's made a mistake.
Yeah, all out of shape through the hairpin there, Andrew. And Matthew Lewis is now ready to pounce like a shark on that. So Nick Powell's gone down to 3rd. He may be about to lose out to 4th here. Big
moves being made behind them. If we can have a look at this battle behind them. 6th place James de Havilland in the 45 has absolutely torn through this pack. This is a big move for the Intermediates Championship. James de Havilland through, and now following is Ben Simpson and Rob Newman.
But Newman's not going to... Oh, he was thinking about it into turn 2, wasn't he? But wasn't quite on there. Turn 2 is a big overtaking spot. You can either get them under braking, or sometimes you can get them on corner exit if you get a good cutback. But it looks like he might be trying on into the spoon. Meanwhile, though, change for 3rd place. Matthew Lewis has got past Nick Powell of Aston A. So Brooks A are up to 3rd place now, as it will be confirmed on time when they next cross the line.
Frenetic starts here at Clay Pigeon. A lot of teams really laying down the marker for their respective championships. Oxford Brooks A, there's the yellow flag out down at turn 3. It's the number 27 who's gone off. This is a really good start for Oxford Brooks A. This is just what they need, but can they close in now on Sam Cobb and Josh Gollin? Josh Gollin unbeaten in his last 2 sprint races, leading this one. Brighton still having a really good run in this one. Just going to look further down the field for some of our other championship contenders. How are Loughborough getting on? Loughborough are back to 20th place, but that's not good enough. They need to get some good points here today. I think we're missing Huddersfield A and Nottingham A from this race anyway, so don't worry about them at the time. But Sam Cobb really starting to close in now on the lead. You just saw James de Havilland. Look at the gap he's pulled out over Rob Newman, and then this gaggle of carts. This is the big battle on circuit. This is over 8th place now, with Birmingham A pulling out ahead of Ben Simpson in the Warwick B cart and Alex Jackson in the Imperial A cart.
Loughborough A and Brooks B recovery drive watch. Oh, no, Andrew.
Change for the lead. Sam Cobb for Warwick hits the front of the pack. He's got past Josh Gollin, and he's away. He's flying away. This is brilliant stuff from Sam Cobb, who's been, if you ask me, he's had one of his best seasons so far in the BUKC. Very experienced driver. Warwick A lead in the sprints.
Loughborough A have just got themselves to the head of a battle over 19th place, which is also the gaggle of carts that Brooks B are working their way through now. So difficult for them to really... Well, they are working their way up the field, but over the last few laps it's proved difficult for them to make progress in amongst this battle of carts.
Josh Gollin's got a problem. Josh Gollin runs wide, and he's lost 2nd place. You'll just see it through the shot. There's Matthew Lewis. Oh, now that's going to be a penalty, surely. Matthew Lewis under pressure. Well, no pressure at all. He'd just taken 2nd place, and that's a cone that's gone flying. One of Colin's brothers.
It's an unusual place to hit a cone as well, Andrew. It's on
the
2nd apex of Horseshoe. And there, the curve really drops away from you from the circuit anyway. So, unusual place to hit a cone, it has to be said.
Right.
But yes, indeed, keep an eye on the penalties, because we definitely saw it from our position up here. We don't make the decision, of course, but we definitely saw. Is that... I know that's... so they're just putting a lap on the Leeds Beckett cart, which is also on a recovery drive.
But
by the
drama.
way...
What drama here.
Exactly. All of our key championship protagonists, I've already used my favourite word of the season, have had some form of incident. Well, let's wait and see. Keep your eyes on the penalty board. Brooks D have just got a penalty for track limits, but that in terms of the championship is not too bad. As who's that stopped out at turn 2?
I think it's one of the Bath carts.
Okay.
Towards the bottom of the field. Oh, as there's a driver who's off down at the hairpin in a very interesting spot. Sam Cobb just did enough to get round him, but nearly lost the lead.
78.
Meanwhile, here's Joe Bleakley on screen for Oxford Brooks B. Let's focus on this for a little bit. Joe Bleakley trying to make his way back through the field, currently in 23rd position. Back with the leaders now, but look, that mistake for Cobb, or that avoidance, there wasn't really much he could do about it, has let Matthew Lewis close right onto the rear bumper of the Warwick cart, but we're pretty sure. Well, I'm not seeing it come through, Howard.
No, I've not seen a penalty either. I've not seen a penalty, but Matthew Lewis is right with Cobb now. For the lead of this race, he ducks to the inside at the hairpin. He tries it. Cobb's holding on to it round the outside. He'll be able to have good run off the corner and the inside line for the horseshoe. There is some standing water on entry, but Cobb manages to hold him off. Just a bit of housekeeping. The spinner we saw at the hairpin was the number 79 Manchester Metropolitan kart. And now James de Havilland is making progress. He's now right on the back of Nick Powell in the Aston kart, further back as well. But we're looking at the head of this field where Sam Cobb in his flame helmet, Warwick A, is leading by yards, a couple of yards ahead of Matthew Lewis. This is exactly the start of the day that Brooks A need as they pick their way through the traffic now. This is, they're actually picking their way through the body of carts I was talking about a few laps ago that James Mills and Joe Bleakley were having to make their way through. In fact, they're not a million miles away from putting a lap on Brooks B, the pace they're going. But Matthew Lewis doing well to keep with Sam Cobb through the traffic. This is really good driving from both of these drivers. More traffic to hit then. There's a good 6 or 7 carts on the same piece of track as them, Andrew. This could be very interesting as they work their way through. And Josh Gollin, of course, not too far behind, looking to capitalise. If he can pick his way through the traffic better than they can, he'll be right on terms with them.
I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be a few races before we got to this, but boom, we've got a fire here. This is fantastic racing, and the drama that we've seen in the early part of this race is up the inside goes Lewis, trying to make his way through this traffic, doing a really good job there, but this feels like the final race of the day, Howard, when everything's on the line. This is fantastic stuff.
James de Havilland has got up to 4th now and has dispensed with Nick Powell.
Penalty for Loughborough A. It goes from bad to worse for James Mills. They've got a track limits warning, so, well, straight away, Loughborough A, as I'm afraid to say, they've kind of been on the whole season. They're on the back foot. Meanwhile, lead battle. Sam Cobb has broken away through the traffic, but Josh Gollin has closed right in on Matthew Lewis again for 2nd place.
I tell you who's having an absolutely fantastic race at the moment as the traffic, as James de Havilland has to have a bit of bumping and barging to get through. Hopefully that won't be seen too poorly. Martin Machak, sorry, in the Brighton car is having an amazing race at the moment. Currently running in 6th and holding on to it. He's right on the pace with Nick Powell in the Aston kart. And do you know who he's holding off? Rob Newman in the Sheffield car is at the moment not able to make his way up the field. So fantastic battle going on between Aston A, Brighton and Sheffield A for 5th place. And Birmingham A's Michael Gibbons is catching up to them as well, I believe. So it's shaping up nicely throughout the top 10, Andrew.
This is really, really good stuff. Matthew Lewis getting his way through the traffic again. Or just about. This is the thing, no blue flags, remember, in the BUKC. Matthew Lewis has now got past the back marker. But I just want to keep an eye on James de Havilland because he's been on form so far this season. But this has been an amazing drive. I'm just going to remind myself where he started on the grid. He started 21st on the grid. He's flown through. Oh, it's off. Who's that off?
It's 16. It's Leeds A.
It's Leeds A. It's one of the back markers.
I think it's Leeds A. It should be the 26, I believe. Interesting, Andrew. How did he come to a stop? Because he was just ahead of Josh Gollin on the road a moment ago.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out on that. I've lost sight of the leaders. There they are.
Yeah.
It's a good thing about Sam's
Coming
helmet.
out
You can spot it from a mile.
Oh, yes.
Here he comes down pit straight, past us in the commentary box. Yellow flag is out, so no overtaking here. And but no, James de Havilland, importantly for the intermediates class, now has Josh Gollin in his sights. Those are the two of the teams going up against each other in that class. As who's that off? Is that Cambridge, the number 9?
I think that's the Cambridge number 9 as well. Gollin now all over the back of Matthew Lewis. The tables have turned somewhat, and now Gollin, our former race leader, is looking for the opportunity to bounce through this batch of traffic. James de Havilland still picking his way through for Newcastle, not too far behind. So if you see the number 45 looming into vision, that's him. Someone's off at the horseshoe as well.
Second place battle. Josh Gollin going up the inside of Matthew Lewis and has got him. Liverpool A have got past Oxford Brooks A and are back into second place.
Birmingham B's just had a spin at the horseshoe, now being recovered. Penalties as well for Swansea B and Loughborough A.
Again?
Loughborough A have a penalty for track limits.
Oh dear. Well, this is not a good start for Loughborough A. They didn't have much chance of getting this championship back in their defending year. But this is really going to put them on the back foot straight away. A lot of pressure on the other three drivers now.
I just want a quick update as well on that battle I was talking about further down in the top 10. I believe that Matchak and Newman have now got ahead of Powell, so it's now Sheffield A. Oh no, Birmingham A's in amongst it as well. So it's now Brighton, Sheffield A, Birmingham A and Aston A. That's changed in the last couple of laps.
And a change. Sheffield are going past Brighton. Great move
and Birmingham
there.
Follows through.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And I'll tell you what was going
opportunism
on
there.
It was the number 30 of Southampton B slightly getting in the way of traffic. Oh, so who's that? Big Off. Big Off. Is that Brighton? I think it
might be.
Oh, bad news for Martin Matchak, running so well for Brighton. Off down at the old hairpin. He's in the tyres. He looks okay. But that was a big, big hit for Brighton. Down past the Marshall post at the bottom of the circuit, and that's such a shame, Howard. That's such a shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is indeed Brighton dropping down the order. Devastation there. Martin Matchak was having such a good drive. From our perspective, certainly I'm finding it hard to recall, Andrew, the drive of his season so far was going on there. So disappointing for him. Meanwhile, Josh Gollin in second. Had we captured Gollin ahead of Lewis, he is pulling Sam Cobb in, and it's going to be really harsh for Matchak, but the leaders, he started just in front of the leaders, so now the 29 goes from being the lapper to being the lappee. He's got the leaders right with him as he goes through the chicane. Now he's got to be careful. You've got to be careful here with the, when you've just had a spin, it can be difficult to reset. You can sometimes have red mist, be frustrated at yourself or frustrated at however the incident occurred.
Good driving there.
But yeah, he gets out of the way of the leaders, allows Gollin through. Meanwhile, de Havilland, let's keep an eye on him because he's beginning to reel in Matthew Lewis. This is fantastic, Andrew. We've got several big names on track here.
But you'll just see him in the shot. Just wanted the camera to hold on to that shot for a moment. But if we get a long shot, you will see. There he is. James de Havilland is closing in now on this top pack. This has been a sensational drive. He's got the fastest lap. He's just set a 41.130. James de Havilland, like a rag to a bull, is flying here because he's trying to chase down that man there, Josh Gollin in the Liverpool cart.
This is fantastic.
Oh, as off we go. And there was a cart near Oxford Brooks B there. Who is that off? Not quite sure who that is. Can't see from our position here. Watch out, Howard, for someone falling down the order, but they were around the spot where Oxford Brooks B were.
This is fantastic, Andrew. We've got a close battle for first, a close battle for third, and a close battle for fifth. Michael Gibbons has done a fantastic strategic job. He's followed Rob Newman through the traffic.
We need to watch the battle behind. Here it is. Here it is. Thank you, guys, on the cameras. As James de Havilland's going for the move. He goes up the inside and he's got it. He's got third place. And that's, in a way, sensible driving for Matthew Lewis. They're in a good position here. They don't need to fight this. They need the points. But James de Havilland with a fantastic move up the inside of the hairpin and is now into third. But the question is, how much time have we got left, Howard?
Well, I was about to say less than 5 minutes to go. I think Coventry A may have been our spinners down there. They've just dropped down the order quite a bit. But yeah, less than 5 minutes to go in this first race of the day. And already I mean, if it's like this all weekend, Andrew, you and I are going to need some throat pills or something, because we're not going to keep our voices with this level of excitement. Already, it's wheel to wheel. Sam Cobb continues to pick his way through the traffic. He's putting a lap on Birmingham B, who are down the order after their spin at the Horseshoe. Now it's Josh Gollin's turn to deal with it. How often do we talk about this in the BUKC? It's about being fast, it's about being good at racecraft, and it's about picking your way through the traffic cleanly and efficiency. That's the challenge for our two leaders. Behind them, de Havilland and Lewis are trying to chase them down, now somewhat spread out.
Penalty for Sheffield A. That's not often we say that about Rob Newman.
It's the track limits.
It's track limits.
That's 10 seconds. That's devastating for his race. And I tell you what as well, this is the thing. He's currently leading Michael Gibbons. They've been so close for lap after lap. So Birmingham A chasing down Sheffield A on the road, but Sheffield A now with that penalty. That's so unfortunate because they were having a really good drive out there.
We've not mentioned King's College A. All the Inters guys really coming to the fore here. King's College A are in a solid 12th place at the moment. Let's not count that out. That could be very important come the end of this round. Meanwhile, leaders, it's still Sam Cobb. I've watched what's happening.
Nick Powell in the Aston car off the hairpin, Andrew. Oh, that's so harsh. That's so harsh. He was having such a good race. Indicative of such a goal. And Joe Bleatley trying to put a lap on him. Actually, it may not have been putting a lap. I'm not sure. It may have been for position there. But tried up the inside of Horseshoe. That wasn't working for him.
Right. Start of a new lap. Sam Cobb leads this race for Warwick A. There's Oxford Brookes B. You can see them on screen. And he's having that battle. He's trying to just get as many positions back as he can. They're currently in 16th place. They'd hope for themselves that at the end of the day that becomes a drop score. But the battle, and here's the battle for second place again as Cambridge are off. Not for the first time in this race. But James de Havilland in the 45, still there in third place ahead of Matthew Lewis. Josh Gollin's in a bit of no man's land between back markers, between James de Havilland in third behind him and Sam Cobb ahead in the Warwick A car. 2 minutes to go, you can see on the screen there.
Lewis is close to de Havilland again though, Andrew.
He is.
There might be a chance here to take third place. I tell you what, the Birmingham A car driven by Michael Gibbons was so close to Newman. I think he bump drafted him at the start of the last lap, I'm telling you. It's good strategic play here to work together to get up the field. And
particularly if Gibbons knows that Sheffield have a penalty. There's actually no point in fighting Rob Newman. If anything, you want to push him along, get yourself a bit safer. Yes, Rob Newman's going to fall down the order, but that's not Michael Gibbons and Birmingham's problem right now.
Harsh times for Nick Powell now. He's the one being reeled in by the leaders to have a lap put on him, having formerly been fighting for the lead of this race. Which means he's going to be a difficult bit of traffic to get past. Sam Cobb trying to get past him into turn one. Gets the job done.
James de Havilland being blocked at the moment and is run wide, and Matthew Lewis is going to get up the inside and is through. He's through and into third place.
Opportunistic move there for Lewis.
And they've just got to get past another back marker now. But to be honest, if I was any of these four drivers right now, I'd to an extent check out, but they're still fighting. Lewis and de Havilland through the Horseshoe.
You know what's coming in? Will we have time for it to come into play? The next person up the road for the leaders is Joe Bleakley in the number 11 Brookes B kart.
Yes.
They've just got to clear the 42, that being...
Side by side again, de Havilland and Lewis down into the first braking zone. This is brilliant stuff. Matthew Lewis retains third place for now. How are we doing for time, Howard?
We're close. We're less than a minute left of this race. In fact, we're on the last lap now, mate. So we're close to the end. I was just saying the leaders have just got to clear Bath B, which they're just doing now, though they've got good pace. So I think this is going to be it, Andrew. Sam Cobb's going to hold on to it.
Sam Cobb, one of the most experienced drivers in the BUKC, I think is about to take his finest ever victory. What a race, what a drive. That's how to start a round. Sam Cobb wins for Warwick A. It's a fantastic second place for Liverpool A. Newcastle A take third. That's important in the intermediates. And Oxford Brookes A are the first team to strike in the Premier Class battle. They finish fourth.
Spare a thought for X to B. who are currently spun off at turn 2, and they have not yet taken the checkered flag. So on the last lap of the race, X to B have had it off.
Sheffield A are classified 5th, but they've got a penalty. Birmingham A 6th, Huddersfield B, and I think it was Aaron Walsh for them, finished well in 7th. Oxford Brooks C are 8th. Imperial A, good drive from Ellis Jackson to 9th. Warwick B 10th. King's College A 11th. That could be really, really important, Howard. That's a decent start for King's College, because I'd say King's College have the most rounded squad of 4 drivers who can get results like that. Loughborough A finished 12th, but we know they have penalties. Newcastle B are 13th. Then it's Oxford Brooks B and D, 14th and 15th. Bath A 16th. Aston A featured in that race, but in the end finished 17th. Swansea B 18th. Birmingham C 19th. Northumbria A 20th. The timing screen's reset on me, but boy, Howard, that was a good start to the day.
A cracking opening to the day and a cracking opening to the weekend as Sam Cobb, his team come and celebrate with him. It was good to see as well, shaking hands with Josh Gollin for a good battle.
That's one of the happiest teams I've seen all year.
It is actually.
Warwick are absolutely overjoyed with that. Both karts in the top 10, and they've won the race.
Absolutely.
Really fantastic stuff.
No, I agree. What a cracking opening that was. I reckon, just a bit of housekeeping, that Sheffield's 10-second penalty will put them to the back of the top 10. I reckon they'll be 10th with that 10-second penalty, we believe. So, it's unfortunate. Still a really good drive. I think the top 6 there, a really top drive. The only thing I'll reserve that against is I'm not quite sure what brought either Marcin Matchak to a stop or Nick Powell. We didn't see what caused those incidents, but we also didn't see any penalties attributed. So I'll assume that was to do with incidents and accidents whilst getting through the traffic. As we get ready to transition over to the second race of the day here at Clay Pigeon. We haven't talked too much actually about the venue. We're here, Clay Pigeon, Dorset, first time for the BUKC since 2016. We generally come here every 2 years, or at least it seemed that way over the modern era of Club 100. Fastest circuit that we visit, and it's always good to come back here, although it does have a tendency to have changeable weather conditions. It's quite high up here on a hill that sort of creates its own weather patterns. So we have seen some extreme weather over the last few years.
Apologies for the technical issues that we've had in the first race. A couple of network issues here at Clay Pigeon this morning. What we're going to do is we're going to reset the video stream. So stay around on the Facebook page to capture the next bit of stream. And, of course, they're on the YouTube as well. But the video stream is going to be reset. We're going to stay with you on Mixlr. So if you want to hear some action, keep with us here on Mixlr, www.mixlr.com/BUKC. But for now, we're just going to reset the video stream, and we will be back